there's a butterfly, it has its wings spread, but it's not moving, it's not flying, it's not doing anything. So A is concerned. A thinks that the butterfly might be hurt. B says, oh no, it's just sunbathing, don't worry. A still thinks that there's a high chance that the butterfly is hurt. So A is going to ask B, since when did it stay still? As a way of saying, for how long was it not moving at all? And yes, placing did in front of a question sentence that already has a verb as an auxiliary verb is not something that you would do in Korean. And of course, I'm talking about the butterfly. And we have the adverb still. So of course, time, adverb, verb. So first, let's place when, 언제, 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 when, and then when you're placing since in front of a time word, any kind of a time word that indicates period of time, yes, since will not stay in front of that time word like it does in English. It's going to go behind the time word and it's going to be attached to the word as a particle, right? 부터, 언제부터, 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 since when. And then let's go to the adverb still. Now there are 3 words in Korean that can be translated into still, and you always have to know exactly when to use which. Number 1, there's 아직, or the long version, 아직도. Number 2, 그래도. And number 3, 가만히. Let's think about why you would say still in English. There are in large 3 reasons, right? Number 1, you can say it to indicate duration of time. Number 2, you can say it still, that is, to indicate that a factor does not greatly affect or influence the other. For example, let's say someone comes to me and says, hey, you know Max, right? And I'm going to say, yeah, I know Max. Yeah, what about him? And let's say this person says, I think Max has been saying some very bad things behind your back. And I'm going to say, okay, I still like him though. So, in that case, I'm using still for reason number 2 to indicate that a factor does not greatly affect or influence the other. The fact that Max has been saying some bad things about me behind my back does not greatly affect how much I like him. So I'm going to say, I still like him. In that case, I'm going to use 그래도 as still. So a little tip is, can you change still into regardless? Take a look into the full context, and if you can change still into regardless, it means that you are using still for reason number 2, 그래도, to indicate that a factor does not greatly influence or affect the other. So also, in the previous example, I can change still into regardless. I can say, oh, Max has been saying some bad things behind my back. I like him regardless. It means that, yes, I have to use 그래도 as still. If you're just simply using still for reason number 1, for example, to indicate duration of time, then changing still into regardless won't work. For example, let's say my friend Max was asleep 2 hours ago. So I'm going to come back in 2 hours and I'm going to say to another person, hey, is Max awake yet? Did he wake up yet? And let's say this person says, oh no, he's still sleeping. He is still sleeping. In that case, according to the context, I don't think this person will change still into regardless. He's not going to tell me, oh no, he's sleeping regardless. Because if he does, I'm going to be very confused. I would say, huh? Regardless of what? So number 1, simply to indicate duration of time. Like in this case, 2 hours ago he was asleep. Yes, 2 hours has passed, he's still asleep. So duration of time. Now number 3 is when you're simply using still to indicate absence of movement, right? When you say, yeah, don't move, stay still. 가만히. A lot of times, yes, you can abbreviate a word simply for convenience, but that's not the case in this case. If you use the long version, 아직도, it means that you are automatically frustrated or surprised. If you use the long version, the nuance of frustration or surprise is automatically imbued into the word, and of course, by extension, the full sentence. Okay, so in this case, yes, we're going to use number 3 because we're using still as a way of indicating absence of movement. 언제부터 가만히, and then 있다 can also be the verb stay. 있다. But of course, I don't want its display form. Now, we took away did, right? Because placing did in a question sentence that already has a verb as an auxiliary verb is not something that you would do in Korean. However, if I do take away did, then there's a fundamental issue, right? Now, nothing is indicating past tense. So the verb has to do it itself. So it's not going to be stay, it's stayed. That means that I don't want the ta ending. I want the ending that indicates actual form, past tense. So let's go to inflection route number 1. So the soyo ending, yes, it belongs to inflection route number 1. So let's apply the rules of inflection route number 1. The rules are outside of exceptions, right? Outside of 4 exceptions. Now you're pretty much safe with 4. There are more, but for now, you only have to be aware of 4. Outside of 4 exceptions, if you have a display form that ends with S once ta is removed, then you apply a 3-step formula, right? If you have one of those 4 exceptions, then you have to apply a 4-step formula. However, 있다 is not one of those exceptions, right? So remove ta, place a or o as the irregular middle section, and then to the o you can attach the ending. Yes, in this case, all, right? And then now you can attach the ending. 있었어요. 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 So now we no longer just have stay, we have stayed. But in past tense, yeah, because we took away did. Yes, so it's stay, but it's stayed, right? So 언제부터 가만히 있었어요? 언제부터 가만히 있었어요? 언제부터 가만히 있었어요?